Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. And in this video, we'll be assembling issue number 26 of the Eaglemoss Back to the Future Delorean. In issue 26, we'll be installing a lot of the muffler components. So with that, let's get started. Welcome back. Here's the magazine for issue 26, where you can build the iconic 80s time machine in 1/8 scale. Let's open it up. Table of contents. First thing we go to is drive time, which is the assembly instructions for this kit. Next we have We're Going Back, Part 3, continuation of the other two articles from the two previous issues, and then a time traveler's guide, and we'll look at that a little closer when we get to it. On the right, we have a whole listing of all the parts we received with this. This is a quite involved assembly with this issue. And down on the bottom, they tell you how you can subscribe to this. So if you haven't already, head over to Eaglemoss right now and subscribe to this. I put a link in the description below. We do a lot here. So we actually assemble the muffler for this, which mounts to the front of the engine, as you can see. Then after the muffler's mounted, then we mount the whole engine assembly to the rear end of the chassis. Okay, remember this is a mid-engine type of vehicle. Then we install some of the half shafts. So we have 17 steps, so I try to keep them as simple as possible. Next in the magazine, We're Going Back, Part 3, so a continuation of the Back to the Future 25th anniversary celebration. After that, then we have an article about Steven Spielberg, the executive producer. And they give us a preview of what's next in the next issue, issue 27. So with that, let me get the parts out and let's get this baby started. Here are the parts that came with issue 26. And you can see we have parts of the muffler in there. So I'll go ahead and take these out. We'll get a closer look. I will be right back. Here's a close-up of the parts. Everything here appears to be plastic. And we'll start off with the screws first. We get AM screws, AP screws, DM screws, EP screws, and FP screws. We get two halves of, they call it a silencer, it's actually a muffler. We have some exhaust pipes. We have some connector left and right. And we have some rubber boots, along with another connector right here. Let's get this started. Step 1. We assemble the exhaust pipe onto the muffler. Now you can see here, this is keyed. There's a flat spot on the side camera there, a flat spot that lines up right inside there. We're going to install an AP screw on this. And there it is. Step 2, we install the other side. Just like before, we want to line it up into the hole. Be a little patient here, put your screw in first, then you can screw it to it. There we go. And there they are. Both exhaust pipes are on. Next we put the back cover on, and we're going to use 2 FP screws for that. Turn it over. And it doesn't look like it goes any certain way. Just lay it down there. Put the first one in. That's the first one. And the next one. There we go. Next we fit the silencer onto the front here of the, or what would be the back end of the engine. The front of the engine, but the back end of the chassis. Now you'll see it slides over. This exhaust goes into the muffler there. And it also goes into this right here. We're going to put a screw in there. And on the other side, we're going to put a screw in right there. Okay, so we'll fit this in just like that. And we'll put our screw in. The first one is an AP screw. And we'll put our AP screw in. Perfect. Next we have to line up the other side. And we're going to put an AM screw on this one. That one's going in the metal, so I should have lubricated it, but that's okay. There it is. And we have another bracket. I'll use some super glue for this. I'm going to put some little bit of super glue on those tabs. Doesn't take much. There it is. Glued in. Next, for step 8, we will install the engine onto the chassis. Now, I think the best way to do it is to go from the top down, and that'll allow it to sit in there just as such. And we'll have to flip this over because we got to put a DM screw in on the bottom. Goes into that slot like that. Of course, we're going to use a DM screw to attach the bottom of the engine. We'll go ahead and get that started. And then the back end, we put 2 more DM screws. One here, one here. I pre-lubricated the attachment points so that they're oiled down really good. Got one more to do. So all 3 DM screws are tightened down here, here, and there. So after completing step 8 and 9, which was attaching the engine to the chassis, we're on step 10, which they want us to put this boot about halfway through the rod here, track rod. Alright, so they want us to install the track rod, which we received in previous issue, and that's going to get inserted into the wheel hub, just like that. And then we have to attach it to the transaxle with an EP screw. And there you go. That was simple enough. Then we take the boot and we slide it down over that screw, just like that. Now we hook up the other track rod on the other side, we get it ready, we're going to put the boot on it. Okay. Take and we insert it into the hub just like we did before, and we attach it to the wheel hub with an EP screw. Just like that. Then we take our boot, slide it over. And there you have it. And we've got 2 more steps to go here. Be right back. Next we attach the left bracket to the silencer. We use an AP screw for this. And the last step, we attach the right bracket to the silencer with an AP screw. So we'll line that up. And that completes issue 26. We did a lot in issue 26. It was fun. The only thing for me was it was a challenge filming this just so you could see how all the screws go in where they need to go. But you know, that's no worries. That's for me to worry about, not for you not to worry about yourself. So it is actually very easy to build this. All the parts went together just like advertised. So we actually installed the engine onto the chassis, and we also installed the muffler, or the silencer as they call it. So that was fun assembling that. And then once we got the engine installed on the chassis here, then we finished up and we put on the tie rods, and we like to call these half shafts or constant velocity joints, CV joint shafts, which drive the engine, right? Drive the vehicle down the road. That was fun installing those. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. With that, I'd like to thank you for subscribing to my channel, and if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. Hit the like. The more likes you hit, the better for me. It gets my channel out there so that YouTube will recognize me and get me noticed out there in the YouTube community. And that's what I need. The more likes, the better. Please give me some likes, if you would. Hit the bell for all updates. And with that, don't forget to subscribe to the Eaglemoss Back to the Future DeLorean. This is really coming along. I really like what I see here. The detail on the engine here is fantastic. It's really fun to assemble this. And I put a link in the description below so you can subscribe to this. Eaglemoss, they're very helpful. If you have any questions, they are more than happy to answer your questions for you. It is normally a monthly subscription, and you'll receive 4 issues per month. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy modeling, everybody. Take care.